doing?
I'm just lowering it. He doesn't need to see this, does he?
Well, a couple people might be on camera.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a handful on already. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Rasmus, my name's Mark Williams. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Am I pronouncing your name correctly, Rasmus Hojgaard?
Yeah, close.
Okay. Close. As close as it'll get, right?
Yeah, that's good.
I think we've got a couple on here who are from your home country, so I'm not sure if they're going to do this in English or if they want to do that in Danish, but if they do, we'll do Danish at the end if needed.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Kev, Dave, just tell us when we're ready to go and we'll get started.
You good? Are you good, Mark?
Okay. Would like to welcome Rasmus Hojgaard to the 2020 Bermuda Championship. Thanks for joining us for a little bit, Rasmus. We just want to get to know you. You've played once on the PGA Tour at the US Open, missed the cut. Just talk about that experience first, your first trip to, or first time playing in the United States on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the US Open was that was pretty cool. I haven't really played any tournaments in the US before, so get to play the biggest tournament of them all as a first time was that was a good experience.
And what led you to come to the Bermuda Championship and play in this event this week?
I mean, obviously my goal is to get to the PGA Tour and play over here. So when I heard I got an invitation, it was a no-brainer for me to come over here and play. So yeah, it's just how everything is in Europe now is they're struggling a little bit, but nice that they've put on a lot of good events now for us to play in Europe. But yeah, I couldn't say no to this opportunity.
And speaking of Europe, you won earlier this year in the ISPS the UK event in a playoff. And I think you became the first player that was born in the 2000s to win on the European Tour. And when you do something like that, anytime you do something that's a first, how does that make you feel, and how does that sort of stand out in your career as it goes along?
I mean, it's obviously very nice afterwards when people come to me and tell me that I'm the first one in year 2000 to win on tour, but it's not something that I'm thinking of or really using any energy on. It's just yeah, it's obviously very nice, but I've got so much I've got so many other different things to think of right now, so yeah.
And just after playing in this event, maybe talk about your form coming in here. What do you feel really comfortable with your game, or is there something that you're kind of thinking that you need to work on a little bit, or I guess you're constantly working on stuff?
Yeah, of course.
How's your game shaping?
It's a bit so if you can say that. I've had a little struggle over the last 2 months, but I feel like I'm on the right track now, and I've had a good couple of days here to practice, and I'm feeling good right now actually.
And before we take some questions, and we've got a few lined up, if you do have questions, just type your name and we'll come to you. But before we go to some questions, Rasmus, just what is your plans after this week? I mean, traveling during this time is difficult for a lot of people, but what are your plans? Are you going to stay in the United States to play a bit more, or what are you doing for the rest of the year?
The plan right now is to go back to Cyprus next week and play the event on the European Tour there. Unless I play really good here and get myself into Houston or a different event, I'll stay over here. But as it is right now, I'm going to Cyprus, and then I'm not sure after that. I think I'm going home for a couple of weeks, and then I'm trying to get myself ready to Dubai at the end of the year.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for that. We'll take a question from Kevin Price at PGAtour.com. Go ahead, Kevin.
Thanks, Mark. Hey, Rasmus. I was wondering if you can kind of talk about your inspiration as a kid to pursue pro golf. Kind of who were your heroes, and what kind of put you on this path as a kid?
Yeah, I started playing golf when I was 4 years old, so I started in an early age. But it didn't get serious until I was 10, 11 years old, when I could see that I was better than average. and that kind of gave me a bit of motivation to get better. And obviously watching some of the Danish players like Thomas and Torbjørn doing well was like an inspiration. And then obviously my big idol is Roy. I've always looked up to Roy and watched him play quite a lot. So yeah, it's quite cool to be able to compete against them now.
Absolutely. What have your interactions been like with Rory? Do you remember the first time you met him? And kind of a couple memorable moments with him.
Yeah, so I met him the first time at the US Open. My caddy knows Roy and his caddy quite well, so I told him if he could arrange 9 holes with Roy, and we did that on Wednesday, and that was a pretty cool experience. Such a nice person to be around, and yeah, it's pretty cool to see him hit the drive as well.
What impresses you the most about him, about Rory in general?
About his game or
Anything?
anything? No, I think probably that he's so down to earth, such a nice person. When you think of how big of a player he is, he's like just saying hi to everybody, and I think that's a really cool thing to do when you're such a big name, because it really makes a difference for a guy like me that he's able to do that.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
All right, Kevin. We'll go to Adam Schupak from Golf Week. Go ahead, Adam. Unmute yourself, Adam. We've actually had some problems with microphones. If we can't get you, just type your question in and I'll ask it on your behalf, okay? Try again, and if we can't hear you, we'll come back. Yeah. Adam, okay, type your question in, Adam, and I'll ask for you, okay? Sorry. Let's go to Anders Sigdahl. He's going to ask a question in Danish, I think. Go ahead. Go ahead, Anders. Okay. Anders, we may have the same issue with your microphone. If you have a question, can you just type it in, please? Sorry, guys. I think we've experienced this before. It's something on the end of being in Bermuda in the system. It's not allowing us to hear you. So, okay, we have a question from Adam. Rasmus, what course did you grow up playing, and did any of the Danish golfers help you along the way?
I grew up playing in a small club called Gytegård in Denmark. It's 5 minutes from where I live, and yeah, I mean I didn't really play with any. Obviously, my brother and I started out playing together, and that was pretty special. So we've always been competing against each other, and I think that has helped us quite a lot to become as good as we are now, and we can probably make each other even better while we're practicing and playing together. So that's been pretty cool.
Okay. Adam's next question is, what would you consider to be a successful week here at the Bermuda Championship this week?
Yeah. That's a good question. I mean, obviously, I want to finish as high as possible. You always want to do that in a tournament, but I think for me is if I can put 4 good rounds in. I think the big thing for me is that I can say to myself after every round that I've given myself 110%. So if I can do that over 4 rounds, I think I can finish up there.
Sounds good. Just a reminder to Anders, if you have a question, Anders, just type it in and I'll ask. I can't get the microphone working, unfortunately. Another question from Adam for Rasmus is, what do you like to do when you're not playing golf? What are your interests outside of golf?
So I do watch quite a lot of sport, all these different sports like basketball, tennis, and football. But I also play quite a lot of video games with my friends. So yes, I guess that's my my interests outside golf.
Okay, another one from Adam is, what do you consider the best part of your game, and where do you need to do the most work on your game to get to the PGA Tour?
I think the best part of my game right now is my driving. I've been driving quite well over this season actually. So definitely the best part of my game. I think I need. I don't think I know I need to practice a lot on my short game and putting. I don't feel like I've been quite there. So yeah, if I can get better at short game and putting, I think it'll be quite good.
Okay, we're going to switch to a question from Anders now, and he asks if you could please answer this in Danish. You may have had this question already, but what are your expectations for this week?
Do you want me to answer in Danish or English?
Yes, please. If you can answer in Danish, what are your expectations for this week?
Ja, det er ja, det er selvfølgelig målet, det er at slutte så højt som muligt i turneringen, og vil rigtig gerne vinde turneringen, det er klart. Men som det er lige nu for mig, så handler det om, at jeg kan sige til mig selv efter hver runde, at jeg har givet mig selv 110%. Om det er så, at jeg har skudt 2 over par, eller om jeg har skudt 6 under par. Det er jo ikke, selvfølgelig har det en stor betydning, men for mig er det vigtigt lige nu, at jeg giver mig selv 100% og føler, at jeg har gjort, hvad jeg kan. Og hvis det betyder, at jeg slutter højt over på leaderboardet, jamen, så er det skide fedt. Men ja, målet det er at selvfølgelig spille alle 4 runder, ikke? Så ja.
Okay, and just one more question from Anders. If you could answer in Danish, how does the course suit your game?
Jamen, jeg føler egentlig, banen passer mig okay. Nu har vi spillet i lidt forskellige forhold. Første dag var der meget blæst og regn, og i går var det bare blæst og lidt fra en lidt anden retning af. Så det var meget sjovt at prøve. Man har mange wedges herude, og det er jo ikke min stærkeste side. Men det vigtigste af det hele, det er, at du kan holde den i spil. Og på den måde, så kan man give sig selv rigtig mange gode chancer ud. Så jeg føler egentlig, at banen passer mig fint. Jeg kan slå en del driver herude og være aggressiv, og det ser jeg frem til. Så ja.
Okay, you can answer this one in English for me, but while I'm waiting, just if you have any more questions, just let us know. But I understand you have a twin brother. I'm not sure if you're identical twins, but did you guys play any tricks on people when you were younger?
Yes, we did actually. Yeah, we are identical twins. So when we went to school, I think I had a German class, and he had maybe I don't know, like history class or whatever. And we decided that we're gonna change class. So I went into his class and he went into mine, and the teachers didn't notice anything until an hour and 30 minutes later, and they just laughed about it. So we found that quite fun, and we tried to do it a couple more times, but they noticed it then.
That's pretty sneaky. I've got a couple more from Adam in English. How did you make the decision to turn pro at such a young age, and did you consider playing college golf in the United States?
Yeah, the decision was I either had to finish high school and then go to college, or I'll just go 110% in being a professional quite early. So yeah, I've never been the biggest fan of school. So yeah, I came up to a decision where I dropped out of high school when I was 17. Played the last 4 months as an amateur, and then decided that from 2019, January 19, I'm gonna turn professional. And yeah, it's quite early, but I feel like I've had a decent amateur career, so I feel like I was ready for it. But yeah, that college, the whole college idea was definitely into mind and into discussion, but yeah, I couldn't see myself finish school in Denmark, so I decided to turn pro.
Good for you. one more question from Adam is, you mentioned video games. What is your favorite video game to play?
It's Counter-Strike. I do play a bit of Call of Duty as well, but mainly I'm playing Counter-Strike.
Okay. And just let me ask you one more to answer in Danish from Anders. You're still a new kid on the European tour, so to speak, but you're a two-time winner. How does it feel to be here on a new tour again?
Det er meget anderledes. Altså jeg føler mig som lidt ligesom da jeg kom på Europaturen, at jeg er et helt nyt sted. Jeg ved ikke lige helt hvad jeg skal. Jeg ved godt hvad jeg skal gøre og træne på og alt sådan noget der, men det er jo helt nye mennesker alle sammen, og det er en ny måde tingene foregår på. Så det er jo meget sjovt at prøve det. Men jeg ser frem til udfordringen, og det gør jeg altid når jeg kommer til et nyt sted.
Okay, we're going to come back to Kevin Price. He's got one or two more. Go ahead, Kevin.
And then Rasmus, how would you describe your own game personally? Like, what is your game?
Yeah, okay. How would I describe it? That's a good question. I feel like I'm a good driver of the ball. Hit it a fairly good distance as well. Like an average iron player, average wedge player as well, I would say. Yeah, definitely not the best short game I'm putter at the moment, but that's something I'm keeping working on, and hopefully I can get to another level there.
And in terms of distance, do you kind of with Bryson and his distance revolution, do you play around with stuff in that regard, like different tweaks to hit it further, or are you good with how far you hit it?
Not really. I feel like I have a decent distance. I think the most important thing right now is to hit it straight. And if you're hitting it at a decent distance, I think your focus should be on hitting fairways. So that's my thing right now.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, Rasmus, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us. It was nice to get to know you a little better, and we wish you all the best for this week.
Thanks.
So enjoy the week and good luck in the future, and we hope to see you more on the PGA Tour.
Thanks a lot.
You got it, man.